Hi, this is Aaron Serrano, and in this video I will be showing you how to use the component drop-down model in place function. And in this case we want to use this to create a nice timber frame in this entryway to kind of resemble something like this. So this is what we're going to be using as an example to try to copy, and here we go. So while using this modeling in place, I'm going to be using just the 3D mode. So up here, I'm going to drop down component and click on model in place. And now, in this case, we can set it to a family category or parameter, and you can program everything to be just the way you want it, but we are not going to care, so I'm just going to use generic model, and I'll call it timber frame entryway. Okay. Now we're going to be doing this by using extrusions. So I'll click up here on extrusion, and then we're going to need to set a plane. So go to set, and we're going to pick a plane. That way we'll be able to choose any plane on the building to work with. So we will pick just the front of this timber post. So now it is set. We're gonna get nice and look at it from the front, and it looks like we have a large, probably a 12 by 12 beam going across, and it extends just a little bit farther. So let's do that first. So we'll just start here, start drawing. Up here you have all different drawing tools. You can just draw a line, square, curves, anything. You can also pick a line. So I'm going to pick line, offset it a foot to make a 12 by 12 beam, and I'm just going to extend this all the way over till we touch the roof above it, and it should highlight right there. And then I'll keep going there, draw it down, I'll trim up using TR as a quick hotkey for the trim tool, and we have our 12 by 12 beam going across. I'll hit the check mark, and then we can see, oh, it's not sitting on top of it. So what you're going to do is click on it, and over here you'll see what is happening. So the start point is set to 0, 0, which was the face of the post, but it's coming a 1 foot away from the post, but we want it to go a foot back, so it's sitting nice on right on top. So I'm just going to come here to extrusion end and type in a -1 foot. And there, now it is sitting on top. Now before we click out and finish model, we gotta do the rest of the beam work. Now we already have it set to, our plane set to where we want, and I'm just going to create another extrusion. So now let's do these beams coming up, and I'm going to just draw these ones as 8 by 8s. So what we're going to do is start off by setting up our constraints, and I'm going to start by setting it back from our plane 2 inches and only going 8 inches, since it's going to be an 8 by 8 beam. So now that will go back 10 inches. So now I'm going to get right in front of it, so it makes it easier to draw. And now I'm going to pick lines, pick this line, that line, and now I'll offset 8 inches for the width of the beams. And now if I trim this one here, I trim it, but then I still need a line here, so I'm not going to do that. I'll go back, Control Z, and I'll actually split this line by clicking SL, the hotkey for the split tool, and I'll click right in the middle. That way when we do trim TR, it leaves another line so that we'll be able to trim it nice and quick. Trim, 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 trim. Okay, now let's see how that worked. So now we can see it sits back 2 inches and only goes 8 inches. So it gives it a nice little definition for what we want. And now for the middle beam, I think we'll just do another. I think we'll make that a 10 by 10. I think that'll look nice. So once again, we go into create, hit extrusion, and so instead of it going back 2 inches, we're just going to make 1 inch and then 11 inches. So we have a total of 10 inches, making it a 10 by 10. And then same thing, we will start drawing our 10 by 10. And there are many ways you could draw it, and I'm just going to do it this way by just having the regular line tool, offsetting 5 inches. That way I go down 5, down all the way, and back up, and it creates a 10-inch beam perfectly in the middle. And I'm just going to have it come up. Oh, we're still offsetting, so I'll go back to 0. And I will pick the lines where it's going to go. And there we go. We have our 10 by 10. And click the check mark. And there we go. We are starting to come together. Get some nice definition. Those little details really will make your 3D renderings pop. And so now we just have these brackets right here, and I'm going to make those 8 by 8s, and these look a little steeper than a regular 45 degrees, so I'm going to make them at 60 degrees. So let's go back here and we'll create another extrusion. I'm going to go to the front, and I said I was going to make them 8 by 8, so let's make our constraints again. Make it 2 and 10 for an 8 by 8. And now I'm going to come over. Right now I'm just using the line to measure. It's a quick, simple way to do it. Let's see what it looks like if we come to 16 inches, 1 foot 4. And let's look at a 30 degree or 60, depending on which way you're looking at. I think that might look good. So now I'm going to pick the lines where it's going to go, and I'll offset our main line 8 inches. Now it is kind of coming into overlapping to the door trim, so I might want to bring it back a little bit. So I'll just bring it back 2 inches. 2 inches. Square that up. And I'm going to want it on both sides, so I'm going to highlight it. Click DM, quick shortcut to the mirror draw axis, and I'm going to find the midpoint of this top beam, click it, come up, and make a direct copy over to the other side. And I'll hit check mark, and there we go. Looks pretty good. Alright, and here's the example again. Now ours is a little wider, but it's got that same style that we're looking for. I think it turned out pretty good. So, and the only other thing is that we can assign materials, to the beams to whichever material we want. We can either find one ourselves or create our own, and that way it will look really nice when you do start to render it. So I'm just going to click the check mark to finish the model, and now on our little cabin home we have this nice timber frame construction in our entryway. And that is just a little brief on how you use the model in place tool. And thank you for watching.